Number 10. Kingdom Hearts 2. A sequel that far surpassed the first one, bringing many fans into the franchise. This is the only game in the series I really liked and finished. A magic adventure into the worlds of Disney and Final Fantasy, with some really deep and emotional moments right on spot. Number 9. Atelier Iris 2, The Azoth of Destiny. Another sequel that completely outclassed its predecessor. This was actually the first one I played in this long-lived series. A charming story full of energy, synthesis, alchemy, and adventure. Truly a remarkable cast of characters here, while the journey is built with its two protagonists on different points of view. I think this is not only one of the best JRPGs of 2006, but also the best in the Atelier franchise. Number 8. Final Fantasy XII. The big, huge project from Square Enix, and also quite the controversial game. This one changed the battle mechanics, goodbye turn-based forever in the series. It played in a resemblance to MMORPGs after the success of the previous entry, Final Fantasy XI. A long and great game, quite important this year, one of the best in 2006. Number 7. Grandia III. Grandia III was a very impressive RPG for its time, visually stunning in a beautiful world with some really neat character and monster design. Story took its toll with the critics, but I always found it alright, interesting as a matter of fact. But the battles here, man, this game became the epitome of the series as it perfected everything it had previously learned with its amazing predecessors. Number 6. Tales of the Abyss. While following similar gameplay mechanics to Tales of Symphonia, this game took a different approach with its story. It was different because of the relationship between the main character and his party members. It turned out to be quite a memorable experience just because of that. If we start talking about its excellently improved battle system, this video might just never end. Number 5. No Saga Episode 3. Finally, the conclusion, the masterpiece, the game that surpassed its two predecessors by a landslide. Graphics, music, interface, frame rate, pacing, wow. Nobody complained about the combat now since it was just perfect. What an emotional and fantastic ending. Because of some of my personal favorites, this game can be higher on the list, but do not forget, it's still one of the absolute best JRPGs of 2006. Number 4. Tales of Legendia. Told ya, this video will include some high-tier games in my personal library. Legendia, I've always stood up for it and will always defend it to death. The most underrated title in the series, completely undeserving of its hatred. Let me also say that its uniqueness is precisely what made me love it so much, quite above all the others in the franchise. Number 3. Valkyrie Profile, Lenneth. It's a port of the original on the PS1, but the version ported was the Japanese one, now with newly CGI cutscenes that look absolutely outstanding. Gameplay-wise, there's little difference between both versions, so it's the same utterly marvelous adventure in both. However, since the price and rarity of the PS1 release became absurd right after its first years, this PSP port is the version most people probably played. Number 2. Valkyrie Profile 2, Silmeria. My favorite PS2 RPG and the one that should be number 1 in this list. Hard to get into at first, but extremely addictive if you push forward and exploit it. A big grindfest, alright, totally worth the time and effort. It has a magnificent story, heartbreaking, with carefully designed and developed individuals. Highlighted graphics and music here, which helped carve its peak above the others as the masterpiece that is Valkyrie Profile 2. Number 1. Suikoden 5. I would have preferred to give the throne to Valkyrie 2, but I decided to keep the tradition, as almost all the other main games in this series held the crown in their videos. Suikoden 5 is my favorite, an RPG I've always believed to be slightly above the second game. Long adventure, detailed world, lore and story, vast amount of likable characters, and last but definitely not least, the 3 best battle systems in the entire series. I loved every single one of them to pieces. Suikoden 5 might have been the last main title, but as of today, it stands as the crown lord of 2006. What, you thought I forgot about .hack.gu Rebirth? Don't worry, I'll include it next year, spoiler alert. I'll explain why then, even though it's a 2006 game. So I guess I'll see you there in 2007.